everybody, my name is Jainab Morris and I am currently the head of Africa for Student Guilds, and we're doing our little snippet on Word on the Street all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa. With me I have Jarlin. Jarlin, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Jardine Joel. I am the co-founder and co-owner of the Johannesburg Culinary and Pastry School with my husband Calvin Joel. And yes, I'm excited to be here today.
Yes. So Jarlin, just so that we sort of can zoom into the purpose of this conversation today, could you just give us a snippet in terms of what JHB Culinary School is and just some history so that we can have an understanding in terms of where we are right now?
Of course. So the Johannesburg Culinary and Pastry School opened its doors in June 2012. We started out in the Maboneng precinct, which is a very trendy, artsy, culture-based precinct. We were there for about 5 years, and in 2019 we moved into this phenomenal building. So by the way, we're sitting in the old Barclays Bank headquarters in Johannesburg on Commissioner Street, right? So we're in the banking hall. We've had to make a banking hall work for a culinary school. So the school has a very vast history. We've been running for the past 13 years, and we still have a long way to go, but we feel like we're at the tip of the iceberg of what we can achieve.
Awesome. Yeah. And okay, now talking about your achievements and what you want to achieve, can you expand a little bit on that in terms of, what you feel your purpose is for the school?
Yes, of course. So obviously when we started the school, the intention was we found a gap in the market and we tried to fill the gap. We as a school, we reach out to communities that find it difficult to get into culinary school, number one. So we make our fees a little more affordable. We make the school more accessible. Hence, we've placed ourselves in the city centre. So we're a city-based school. Our students, most of them catch one taxi or one bus to get to school. So it's not too much of an effort. And then with regards to where we want to go is that we want to become a landmark in Johannesburg. And I always tell people we could have called this the Jardine Culinary School or the Calvin Baking Institute or whatever it may be, but we chose the Johannesburg Culinary and Pastry School because it belongs to the city. It's way bigger than the two of us. And where we're heading, we are hoping to add a lot more faculties to the school and ultimately turning it into a university, a hospitality university. So watch this space.
So there's definite opportunities there and so forth. And I'm just thinking, if you look at your journey for the past 3 years, what jumps out to you? How did you manage the past 3 years? Because you say that you are on the cusp of greater things. Yes. So what does that mean for you?
Right. So I think if you refer to the past 3 years, the first thing that jumps out at anyone is COVID.
Yeah.
And the one or the biggest positive that I think most businesses take out of COVID is it's taught us how to pivot and how to adapt to situations. And we always laugh and tell people that we've never had a culinary school before. It's our first. This is our first time doing this thing, and we're doing the best with what we have. When you get thrown a curveball such as COVID, you need to find ways to adapt to it without being completely defeated. Some people have been defeated, but I think you just need to find a way you need to be very innovative in business in general. So that's what it's forced us to do. And luckily with City and Guilds, we were able to still do our online classes and still proceed with our curriculum as required. And we've managed to get up and dust ourselves off and carry on.
Thank you for that input. Can you expand a little bit more about your students' experiences at your school?
Yeah, sure. So because we're all about hospitality, we try not to let this be just school. Okay. So, we consider ourselves exhibitionists. Okay. Because firstly, right now we're sitting at the bar, and from this bar you can literally see our practical classrooms. So our students are exposed to people watching them and seeing what's going on. So they don't have that like I'm hidden and I'm only learning. Yeah. You are exposed. You are literally like you're in a hotel lobby and people are watching you do your thing. So you need to behave in a certain way. And in addition to that, we have other platforms that we have our students also hone their skills.
Okay.
For instance, we have our coffee shop, Cinnamon Patisserie. So we on Commissioner Street right now, 85 Commissioner, and the coffee shop is on the corner of Commissioner and Simmons. So Cinnamon Patisserie, we opened down the road. It's a student-run coffee shop. We have our F&B students and our culinary and pastry students in there as well. Some of them have been employed in the coffee shops, and there's others that are just doing the experiential training on site as well. So besides the coffee shop on the corner, we've also opened 2 more of these coffee shops at the University of Johannesburg. So at the Kingsway campus, at the library, and at the Doornfontein campus, we've opened the coffee shops there as well. Also based on students doing the experiential training, and some of our graduates that have graduated who are also running those kitchens for us. And then, yes, we have the coffee shop, but then this space itself also lends itself to eventing. So we host events, whether it's corporate team buildings, private parties. We had our son's wedding in the foyer.
Wow,
so
that's impressive.
Exactly. So our students get all of that hands-on experience. That outside catering, the coffee shops, eventing. There's 5 penthouses on the rooftop of those buildings. So frequently they have international guests that come through, and they come down for breakfast. They'll sit in this bar in the restaurant area. They'll be served by the students and the kitchens. So we try to make this as real life for the students as possible. It's not just school.
Wow, that is amazing, Jarlene.
Yeah.
And I can only think, that the learner journey itself is one that is full of interesting experiences.
Correct. Because Jainab, at the end of the day, what we want is for these youngsters to take these experiences and adapt to real life. And the fact that they've been exposed, so if a student comes in here and they're not confident in themselves, or they're uncertain on whether this is for me, let me just do it in the meantime. But when you immerse them in those type of situations, they grow that confidence that I can go and set up a stall at a market, and I can engage with people and produce my product because now I'm confident in what I'm doing, because I've presented this and I've presented myself in the public eye before through the school I attended.
And then that just goes to life skills as well.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
That is absolutely amazing, Jarlene.
Yeah, makes all the difference.
This now begs my next question. You mentioned City and Guilds. Why City and Guilds? And how does that speak to candidates and to you as an institution?
Yeah, so I think with City and Guilds, with us having our accreditation through City and Guilds of London, it really helps us knowing that it's an internationally recognized accreditation. It assists our students in traveling and also being a part of something that's worldwide recognized. The fact that the curriculum is as holistic as it is and adaptable, in that we can adapt it according to our cultures, our traditions, our local environments, really helps a lot as well. But still with that strong guidance of the institute, knowing that you still need to follow certain protocols, and obviously the external verifications and moderations that gets done, that also keeps the organization in line. That helps a lot. I think everyone needs that guidance.
Okay. Yeah, and we know that journeys have their rocky patches, etc., but ultimately your experience in terms of, you speak about our quality assurance processes, and that sometimes, there are certain gaps. And how do you feel about, for instance, those gaps being identified?
Yeah.
Does it add value? Or is it just something that you can do without?
No, I think it absolutely adds value, definitely. Because remember, as an organization, we sit within our own businesses and we come up with all these beautiful, innovative ideas. Because we're still entrepreneurs at heart. We still want to create and be spunky and do nice, fancy things that's relevant to today's day and age and today's customer. Because the City and Guilds customer from 30 years ago was different to the City and Guilds customer of 2024.
Yes.
All right? So we now need to take with your guidance what our students expect, what industry expects, and then create this product or this training or curriculum still based off the parameters of the accreditation, obviously.
And interesting that you mention industry right now. What does the South African industry look like in terms of, the global market, in terms of, the type of candidates that you get, and compared to, for instance, your normal run-of-the-mill schools or institutions in South Africa?
So with regards to industry, I find that our students are more exposed to international trends, international mannerisms, and situations. Like, it's easy to find out how people at the Ritz behave, how the chefs at the Ritz behave, how the chefs at the Hyatt behaves, international groups. And like, some people get shocked at chefs with tattoos, for instance. It's like a big no-no, you must hide it, whatever else. But now, I always tell people that we're living in the youngsters' world. We're visitors currently.
Yes.
We're visitors. So whether we like it or not, this is who they are and this is what's acceptable to them. But there still needs to be boundaries. So they're more aware of what's happening internationally, what's happening in industry internationally. So we cannot bind them to our old traditional way of thinking. And the quicker we get with it, the less frustration we'll experience.
That's very inspirational. We need to at times transition to what is current, what is needed, and so forth, but still sticking to industry standards.
That's it.
But now you've captured it really well. At this stage, I want to ask, is there anything else that you want to, for instance, put out there? Because it is your word on the street.
Yes. So basically, I think the biggest thing I want, or the biggest takeout I want people to take from this is, it's doable, because I keep telling peers of mine and even our students that I'm a girl from these local streets like everyone else in this organization, and the fact that I'm on the ground and they can come up and speak to me, and it inspires them that they can do certain things. They just need to decide. Wake up, decide, find the pain and offer a solution. And network with the relevant people, because the circles you move in also determines what direction you take, because you always have choices to make, and your choices are normally with your peers, whoever you're sitting with, whether it's on a weekend, at a social thing, whatever else, you're making a decision based on who you're with. So choose who you're with. If you want to be successful, move in successful circles and empower yourself, do some self-development, just to take you to the next level. No one's coming to save you. no one's coming to save you. So let's do it, guys.
Yeah, and then thank you so much for your time, Darlin. And this is hoping you and wishing you every success with your future plans. I know there are great things coming, and I, for one, am excited to see how you navigate through this very interesting journey that you're on. But thank you so much for your time, and thank you for indulging our word on the street.
You're more than welcome, and I'm hoping to get you guys over as guests again at some point.
Definitely.
Thank you.